That's not a comic book. Now that's a comic book.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Comic Reviews. I'm Sid Part 2, and I've got a pretty good sized stack today to make up for last week's with only 2 comics, and still haven't gotten around to Zero Hour. I read part of it, but didn't get a chance to get through all of it because I kind of screwed up, but don't worry about it. I'll talk about it eventually. I don't know, at some point in the future. There's not really much of a demand for it right now, but, you know, whatever. So anyway, we'll start, as always, with the last thing I read, which is Captain America, Sam Wilson's Captain America, number 4? Yeah, number 4. This is so much fun. It's dealing with a lot of really serious issues, but it's smart enough to kind of put I don't want to say a funny face on it, but to kind of make it really, really comic booky so that you can't get it's hard to get angry at, because there are things where when you approach something that's really doom and gloomish, it's hard not to, if you disagree with it, just dismiss it away, get kind of mad at it or react negatively to it. But what's smart about this is it's taking all the other super comic booky kind of elements and working them into the commentary that it's doing. So I think that's a really, really clever idea, and I think it's working really well in this book. So Sam is still half werewolf, which is just a really fun idea. I'm warming up to it, and I expected it to be gone after the last issue, but no, they're going right on with that. And we're still dealing with these, experimentations, and now there's a lot of commentary on Wall Street and just how we react to things that we find to be wrong, but how we live with benefiting from things that we agree with being wrong. You have the idea of cell phones is brought up here. Everyone loves their smartphone. I don't have mine on me, but everyone loves their smartphone, and they get really excited when the new version or whatever of it comes out, and they can't wait to use it and everything. But then when we hear about, these companies use really arcane labor practices and stuff to develop that phone and make it as quote-unquote cheap as it is, we get kind of shocked and that's wrong, and we should do something about that. We don't really go about doing anything. So it's got that level of commentary layered into it, about how that is supervillainy. That is the kind of shit supervillains would do, and it really is. It's got Wall Street teaming up with supervillains to, kind of feed off one another. The supervillains are getting rich off of Wall Street, and Wall Street's able to hire out the supervillains to do, their dirty work for them and stuff, and that's what's all going on in here. So it's really, really clever, really, really fun stuff, and I'm enjoying the hell out of that. And then on top of that, it's just alright, so that's the really clever, kind of neat social commentary stuff. But what's fun about it? Well, so Sam Wilson's half dog. He's a werewolf, basically. And so he's dealing with, the day-to-day of that, because he's, consistently a werewolf. So, hence the new look. And a whole new set of problems. For starter, there's the smell. So his coworkers maybe don't shower enough, or they get back from a mission, they just stink because you sweat. But he can now smell it even more, so his coworkers have to take extra showers. A guy comes to check the meter for what the gas price or the water price is going to be, and he barks their head off. And he's like, "I'm just here to read the meter." And then he's like, and I'm ashamed to say my culinary palate just isn't what it used to be. And it's just Captain America eating out of garbage cans, because it's what a dog would do. It sees food, it's like, oh damn, that looks really, really good. I need to eat that right now. And let's just say my first full moon did not go well. It's just with a bunch of dogs howling into the moon. Really, really funny stuff. Really enjoyable. So this, just like I said, it's just a really fun book right now, but it's also really smart, really poignant. So it's everything that I love about comic books, how they can be clever, but also be just fun and enjoyable. Like, it doesn't have to be one or the other. It's not like everything has to be super serious, incredibly, preachy to be enjoyable. It can also have a lot of fun elements in it, and that's really what we're getting here. So I'm really enjoying that. Yeah. Just a nice, solid issue. Curious to see where this continues to go. Star Wars Darth Vader number 14. Continuing the Vader Down story. And this cover is misleading. At no point do Luke and Han fight droids, and Luke doesn't pull out the lightsaber. So, what's going on here? Just more shit, really. They find Luke, they get separated from Luke again, everyone's still going after Luke, and everyone's still going after Vader, and I mean, the main thing we learn here is that this is all traps set up by, or no, we didn't even learn that, because we knew that from the first issue. But he has now revealed himself. This has all been set up, and it's now revealed that Commander Carbon is the one behind downing Vader, and he's lured all the rebels to him and stuff like that. So, this guy, the Mana Calamari, has set all this up. The cybernetic Mana Calamari has set everything up into motion for him to attack Vader and get the entire rebel fleet all in one location. Yeah. Pretty good. There's a really cool part where Chewbacca fights this other Wookiee. That was fun too. There's not a lot. Like, it's weird. This is a Darth Vader issue, and it feels more like the Star Wars book. Because, let's see here. 1, 2. I guess I just realized that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10. Darth Vader's on 10 panels in an entire comic book with his name on the cover. So yeah, this really is more the Star Wars side of the story. I wonder if next issue will maybe be more the Darth Vader side of the story, because that'll be in the Star Wars book, so who knows. I don't know, that's a strange one to me. Yeah. I don't know. Weird. Really, it is just the story continuing, and there isn't, like, major developments in it. Luke was caught for a minute, now he's escaped again, so it's kind of, it's hot potato with Luke Skywalker, I guess. I did enjoy it, though. There's just not a ton to say about it again, I'm afraid, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put this away now. Good though. Still enjoying it. DC Comics Bombshells, number 7. Man. Like, it's weird, because I'm enjoying the hell out of this book, but at the same time, it's kind of all over the place. We get Felicity from the Arrow show in this, which I thought was kind of clever, that she's now, like, an official character in the DC universe, despite however you feel about her in Arrow. she's a Jewish New Yorker, and she's been kicked out of her apartment, or her and her family rather have been kicked out of their apartment for housing foreign Jews in America. Like they're basically treating them like squatters. So we got all these Bat girls, they're calling themselves, kind of taken after the Batwoman Kathy Kane thing that happened in the beginning, and so they're filling her role. And there's this whole thing about an orphanage being used to fund the war and stuff, or build weapons for the war. And oddly enough, they're not working with the Nazis; they're working for the Americans, which is kind of crazy. And it's all about keeping foreigners out of America. Blah blah blah. Which, yeah, it's not off from the attitude of the times. Let's see, what does the villain say? Our sympathies belong with the Axis. They understand what a menace the rest of the world is to the safety of the homeland. Swarms and floods of foreigners coming into this country, letting evil into the heart of what we're supposed to protect. Sound like something some people in the right wing maybe are kind of saying. Why does that sound so damn familiar? It's this use of the word homeland. The safety of the homeland. Again, comic books and social commentary. So while I enjoyed the story, it is good. It's a fun story. It is a little problematic with my overall issue with this book, which is as soon as we just get a little bit of each character, and this entire issue is just these the Bat girls, taking down this, orphan ring thing, and I guess I don't know how much more we'll get with them, so it might even be a one-shot, but we have the Batgirls here taking down this orphan slavery wing, basically. And, I enjoyed it, but what the hell happened with the rest of our characters? Where's their story at? So, I guess the problem with the book is it's one book, but it's creating and trying to juggle an entire alternate DC universe right now. And so that gets really, really hard to do really, really quickly for obvious reasons. So I don't know, that's bothering me, but at the same time the storytelling's really good, so what do you say about it? I don't know. I do love the hell out of their costume, just the girl skirt kind of thing, it looks so freaking cool. I'm enjoying the hell out of that. You'll have to excuse me for a minute though, I need to 1, fix my shot, but 2, gotta deal with something else real quick. Alright, so let's continue on there. Sinestro, number 18. I'm gonna have the same problem a little later. But I'm picking this up because Wonder Woman's in it. But it seems like Wonder Woman can't be in something without, other Justice League members showing up. Because, we had that with Deathstroke, where she was in a couple issues of Deathstroke, but then Superman showed up. And then we have that here, where she's in this. And to be fair, it's an attack on the entire planet. In both cases, as I'm going to get to here. It's an attack on the entire planet, so it makes sense that other Justice League members would be showing up in this. But it is nonetheless a little annoying that I'm reading it because Wonder Woman's in it. And then she doesn't really get all that much to do, except be in it with other members of the Justice League. Also, another complaint. I'll get to why this happens in a sec, but that's not going to make it make sense. Why the fuck does Superman get a yellow lantern ring? That's dumb. That's just really stupid. Batman gets a yellow lantern ring, not Superman. Superman, you clearly go blue, okay? Ugh. I get right now, he's got the whole, people are afraid of him because now they, know him as a person, not some kind of god, and I don't know, that's still stupid. That's just dumb. And I'm mad. Cullen Bunn, I just don't like his take on Sinestro that much. I like the idea behind what's going on to get Superman the ring. I just don't like that Superman gets the ring, because it's not very Supermanish, for one. I mean, I guess you could maybe make the argument they're just going to anyone with a significant enough power, but we'll get into that. No, because that's bullcrap. Then you don't need it to say you have the ability to instill great fear. And Wonder Woman gets a ring too, and I mean, at least she's the god of war, so that makes sense. But everyone else that gets a ring, it's Jonathan Crane, Deathstroke, and Harley Quinn. So, not to start from the end of the comic book, but to slowly start from the end of the comic book. Sinestro apparently has manhunters at his disposal, and he's using some of them to produce rings to give out to different Earthlings to help him fight this, alien invasion, the Paling, as it's called. And that's fine, and the idea is that the yellow light isn't affecting them very much, so they just want powerhouses, and the yellow light will just kind of help the powerhouses a little bit extra. It just gives them a little bit more of an edge. If you give... Superman's already certainly a sufficient enough, wet battering ram, as you will, but giving him a Green Lantern ring certainly doesn't hurt, and I guess that's the same logic of giving him a Yellow Lantern ring. I don't know. I found that really annoying. I like the approach. I like some of the things themselves that Cullen Bunn has Sinestro do, because I remember I read the first 6 issues of this book, and I couldn't get into it. But there was a scene I really liked where he used some of the members of the Sinestro Corps that had been added to the Corps in his absence as just, as a booby trap, basically. He just kind of threw these lanterns away because he considered them, he called it trimming the fat of his Corps. He used them as basically kamikazes without their knowledge to divert an enemy during the whole Godhead thing. And so that was really clever, and I liked that idea. I just didn't like his overall tone with it, because I can certainly see Sinestro doing something like that, but I just don't agree with his approach to the character itself. Sinestro is a character that I find incredibly fascinating, and I don't think anyone really writes well. If all you knew about Sinestro you got from the DCAU, you don't know a damn thing about Sinestro aside that he's kind of pinkish purplish, he hates Green Lantern, and he has a yellow power ring. Those are the only things you know about Sinestro. They didn't even kind of get his character. He helps Lex Luthor steal a train full of gold in that episode, in one episode of that. And that's just not Sinestro's character. Sinestro is such an interesting character because he is the example that everyone should be going to of what happens when a hero goes too far, crosses a line. And this just doesn't really... It's just not what I'm feeling. He should... The whole idea he has in this that I kind of like is, well, the Green Lantern Corps is gone or absent right now, and I guess that's what's going on with the whole Lost Army thing. Green Lantern Corps really isn't around right now, and so he's trying to fill their shoes, but do it better. And that's just... I like the idea. I don't think the execution is working here. I just feel like if Sinestro were to do that, he shouldn't have them just be acting as Green Lanterns. He should have them doing what he did when he was a Green Lantern, which is, boot heel on a planet. He was kind of redeemed by the end of Jeff Johns' thing. I don't think it counts. Jeff Johns' Green Lantern is the thing that got me into the universe, but I don't think he ever really... I think it finished very poorly. So... Anyway, yeah, I was disappointed by this. Wonder Woman's barely in it, and that's the reason I was picking it up. I'll probably pick it up until they're off Earth, I guess, just because... that's another thing with Green Lantern in general, is I don't know why it always has to come back to Earth. I got people who are into Doctor Who that follow me. So you remember during the Tennant era of Doctor Who, how like it always had to be the Daleks that were behind everything secretly? That's what it kind of feels like with Green Lantern and Earth. It's always got to come back to Earth that's being threatened, or that Earth has to be, overly important or whatever, and that always bugs me. So yeah. I'm just kind of disappointed right now. Anyway, what else we got here? Pacific Rim, Tales from the Drift, #1. I like things about this, but not enough to keep picking it up. I'll just say that right off the bat here. Pacific Rim was a movie I really enjoyed, and I thought it was a lot of fun, but I don't know. Just as a continuing concept, doesn't seem to work. Because you either have to have the stakes either have to be immediately lowered, or you have to, I don't want to say undo, but yeah. You have to undo the accomplishment of the previous film. So, but what I mean by that is you either have to find a way for the aliens on the other side of the rift to get back to Earth by going through the rift again in order to continue telling the story, which undoes the accomplishment of the last film, the previous film. Or you have to set it before the film. And there's certainly plenty of stuff to work with, but the threat was as bad as it had ever been by the time you get to the movie. So you either have to lower the stakes or undo the film. And I don't really like either of those options. And this I guess went with the better option, which is to lower the stakes and just have it take place before the movie. Or that's certainly the impression I got. And they do some interesting stuff with the people. It's a husband and wife team in the kaiju. No, not the kaiju, in the Jaeger. And they kind of like met because of research with the Jaeger, and we get some flashback of their stuff. What else? They're in a really bad spot in this fight with this kaiju, and they're almost dead. And it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And we're left with like kind of a cliffhanger moment. It's like, are they alive or not? Will they survive? Blah blah blah. And it's weird because we're left with like a cliffhanger in the present as well as the past with the flashbacks. So that was kind of neat. I don't know. It was certainly enjoyable, but again, it's just such a wash, Like, this doesn't affect the movie in any really positive way. It just gives me more background on the film. And I don't really need that. It's good, but it's not enough to keep me interested. So that's unfortunately all I have to say. It's it's good character stuff. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not enough to keep me interested. So it's kind of just a wash. Sorry for that one being so short. This one I couldn't resist. Batman 66 and The Man from U.N.C.L.E. And I kind of wish I had resisted it, but once again, not that it's bad. It's just not really what exactly I was hoping for. So first of all, we don't get enough of it's called the Batman Affair, which is clever. this issue doesn't have them meet, which, I mean, if you're going to do a crossover, your properties should cross over and meet in the first issue. If they don't, you're wasting your damn time. 6 issues, Green Lantern, Star Trek did it better, damn it. What you want is for it to be fun and for them to meet right away, and start interacting right away. You don't get an issue to set up where they each are, because that's what this is Batman's in Gotham doing his thing, the Uncle team is globetrotting doing their thing, and they have not met up yet by the end of this thing. They both, solve their problem, as it were, and get away at the end, but they don't actually get to meet. It's a little weird of a crossover. Like, I guess this is happening because the movie just came out. Probably on DVD, actually. But, again, this is weird, because, like, who wanted this? Was this for, like, a kid who was watching both of these shows back in '66 and really, really wanted them to cross over? Like, was this made for that guy? I don't know. Like, I really enjoyed Man from U.N.C.L.E. Batman '66, I can enjoy it for what it is, but it's not really my thing. Certainly not Captain Logan. But I don't know, man. It's just kind of a wash again. It's just, I don't know what I was hoping for, because I knew it would be kind of more toward the '66 feel than toward the toward the movie, but at the same time I was really hoping I'd enjoy it, and I don't know. I was hoping it'd be more like the movie, since that's gotta be the reason it's coming out. And it's not. It feels like the '60s show. To be fair, I didn't know Man from U.N.C.L.E. was a show in the '60s until like 2 minutes before I saw the movie. I really thought it was its own thing, and it's not at all. Also, brief review of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I cannot possibly review The Man from U.N.C.L.E. because I was too damn distracted by how much Henry Cavill looks like Christopher Reeve in those goddamn old suits. No, I did really enjoy The Man from U.N.C.L.E. That was a really fun movie. So, I don't know. We've got, like, everyone's broken out of Arkham Asylum by the end of this. And the U.N.C.L.E. team is doing their thing. And has, has escaped and is tracking down some lady. What's her name? Olga. They're tracking down Olga. I don't know. It's whatever. I can't be bothered to care enough about it. So I won't be picking this up either. Final issue. Aquaman. See, you know how I said that Wonder Woman is showing up in all these books, but for some reason Justice League characters have to show up as well? Well, guess what's on the cover? I don't know, this was disappointing as well. And again, like I said with Sinestro, it's a global threat. It totally makes sense that the Justice League would be here to help out and stuff. But again, I was excited to read this because Wonder Woman was in it. And she gets very little to do. The Justice League shows up and helps take down all these monsters that are attacking Arthur's home. And then they split up. Arthur to head down to Atlantis to take care of the threat, and the Justice League to go to this banished world and, rescue the innocent people that are there. Yeah. Whatever. I don't know. It's weird because Bruce Wayne Batman's in this, but Superman's doing the whole jeans and t-shirt gig, so I don't know what's going on about that one. honestly, I don't care that it contradicts Scott Snyder's thing, because we all know my feelings on that. Yeah. It's alright. Mira's kind of got a cool moment at the end of it, though I guess I just wonder why she didn't do this specific thing earlier in the story, since she apparently could have done it at any time. So that was weird. I don't know, she gets a cool moment though, so that was fun. Yeah. As with many things, I just don't find Aquaman that interesting. Okay, here's a question for the cover. I get why Superman, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern don't need a mask for breathing. Because Green Lantern's got the aura, Wonder Woman and Superman are superhumans, so they can hold their breath for an extended period of time. I get why Cyborg doesn't need a breathing apparatus, because, he's got cybernetic systems, so he can choose whether or not water's let in, and he can hold air for as long as he needs it, potentially. Now, Batman does have some kind of breathing apparatus on his face in the cover, but the Flash doesn't. Why doesn't the Flash need air? Last I checked, the Flash's ability to hold his breath was not significantly longer than any other superhero's ability, than any other normal hero's ability to hold their breath. I don't understand why Batman needs a breather, but the Flash doesn't. So yeah. Everyone else makes some degree of sense. The Flash does not. So yeah. Is this Bunn too? Colin Bunn, what's up with you bringing Wonder Woman into your book and then not using her? What the shit, Colin Bunn? Colin Bunn, whatever. That's weird of you. It's the same Bunn, right? Where's this title page at? Damn it. He's writing Sinestro and Aquaman, huh? I guess. Whatever works. Leagues below, a league above. Yeah, Cullen Bunn. Cullen Bunn! What's up with you and Wonder Woman right now? Do you just really want to write Wonder Woman, except not really? I don't know, man. It's weird. If you're going to use her, that's fine. I really encourage that behavior. But I need you to, actually have her do stuff. If you want to take over the book from the Finches, go ahead. After the last issue, I'm really disappointed in them. But I need you to go a little further with what you're doing. You can't just have her show up. She needs to do just a teeny bit more than that. She needs to be Wonder Woman. Alright. So that'll do it for comic reviews. I don't know. I guess it was kind of a disappointing week overall. I did enjoy the first 3 books I talked about. And the last 4 are... Pacific Rim was good in that last bunch of 4, but it wasn't, anything that impressed the hell out of me, so... Yeah. Kind of a mixed bag this week. But you know what? You, my dear viewers, can remedy that situation. If you have a series that's coming out that you think I would enjoy and would like to hear me talk about, let me know. I will pick up at least 1 issue. I guarantee you that. And if I enjoy it enough, I will add it to my pull list, and I will talk about it every week. If you have any graphic novels or trade paperbacks you would like me to talk about, please let me know. I'll do my very best to get a hold of them and talk about them whenever I can. Speaking of which, I finally got this. Green Lantern / New Gods Godhead. I finally got this. This is a thick son of a bitch. Look at that. I could clearly beat someone to death with this. This is enough to be used as a deadly weapon. And that's really all that you want from a graphic novel. Yeah, but it is like a complete collection of the Godhead crossover event. So I'm really excited to talk about that. But yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a good book to get into. Ooh, that feels good. Don't judge me. Anyway, so I'm going to get into this, but I promise I'll do 0 Hour first. Eventually. At some point. Alright, everyone. Thanks for watching. Until next time.